Airports are liminal spaces, thresholds between worlds. Everyone's going somewhere, but no one belongs there. They're filled with motion, emotion, and the strange quiet that sits between departures and arrivals. But in July of 2014, 28-year-old Lars Mittank walked into Varna Airport in Bulgaria and never walked out. At least, not in the way he was supposed to. He had a return flight to Germany. His luggage was checked in, he had called his mother, and he was going home. And then, something happened. CCTV cameras captured Lars sprinting out of the terminal, not walking, not calmly leaving, running. Bolting through automatic doors, across the pavement, and into the woods beyond the airport parking lot. No one was chasing him, no one appears behind him, yet he ran like his life depended on it. He left behind his suitcase, passport, phone, and then he vanished. What could cause someone to do that? Paranoia? Fear? Or something else entirely? This is the story of Lars Mittank. A story with no ending. A story that begins with a vacation and ends with a mystery that still haunts the internet to this day. Lars Mittank was a lot like us. 28 years old, lived in Itzehoe, a quiet German town, worked at a local power plant, a life that was stable, if unremarkable. That summer, he took a break. A group of friends invited him on a week-long trip to Bulgaria's Golden Sands, a beach resort town on the Black Sea coast, famous for its nightlife and cheap beer. For the first few days, everything was as planned. Lars partied, swam, sunbathed. He texted his mother. Photos show him smiling on the beach, holding a drink, surrounded by friends. He looked normal. But just days into the trip, something happened. One night, the group went to a bar. Some sources say it was over a football rivalry. Lars was a fan of Werder Bremen and allegedly crashed with supporters of Bayern Munich. The details get murky here. It's unclear if the argument started in the bar or afterward, but at some point, Lars got separated from his friends. He was attacked by a group of men. He suffered a ruptured eardrum, not life-threatening, but serious enough to prevent him from flying home. Lars' friends offered to stay behind, but he insisted they go. He reassured them he'd be fine. He just needed time to recover. The doctor prescribed sulfurazine, 500 milligrams, an antibiotic. Lars checked into a budget hotel called Hotel Color, located just minutes from the airport. He booked one night. He was alone. There are theories, unconfirmed, that the men who attacked him weren't random, that they were hired, but there's no solid proof. What is clear is that after the fight, Lars was different, and in Hotel Color, that difference became undeniable. That night, Lars called his mother, but something was wrong. He whispered into the phone. He said she needed to cancel his credit cards, that people were following him, and that he was being watched. "I don't feel safe," he reportedly said. "I'm not safe here." He texted her asking about the medication. Was it messing with his mind? Hotel security footage shows Lars acting strange, peeking through the elevator doors, pacing in the hallway, leaving his room in the middle of the night, and returning at dawn. Some believe he was experiencing paranoia by antibiotics, a rare but documented side effect. Others suggested delirium from his ear injury, or maybe he was right. Maybe someone was after him. Lars arrived at Varna Airport the next morning. He had checked out. He brought his bag. His flight to Germany was booked. But before boarding, he needed a final check from the airport medical clinic, standard procedure for ear injuries. Inside, the doctor said he seemed nervous, paranoid, fidgety. Then a construction worker walked in. Lars stood up suddenly and said, "I don't want to die here." And he ran. Out of the clinic, through the airport, pushing open doors, sprinting across the pavement. Surveillance footage shows him crossing into a patch of trees beside the terminal. He left everything behind. Passport, phone, luggage. He hasn't been seen since. What could make a man flee like that? The most cited theory is reactive psychosis, a sudden mental break triggered by trauma, isolation, or drugs. Sulfurazine has been linked, in rare cases, to hallucinations and confusion. Another possibility, a head injury, more serious than initially thought. The blow that ruptured his eardrum may have affected his brain. Some cases of post-concussion syndrome include paranoia, memory loss, and aggression. And then there are the darker theories. That Lars was targeted, that he saw or heard something he shouldn't have, that the construction worker in the clinic wasn't just a worker, These stories spread online, but none of them answer the simplest question: where is Lars Mittank now? No sightings, no phone usage, no confirmed trace. It's been more than 10 years. Lars' family still searches, still posts updates, and still asks for tips. People online theorize, they map out sightings, Germany, Poland, Bulgaria, but none hold up. All we have is that video, that final sprint into the unknown. Lars Mittank became a myth online, a cautionary tale, a puzzle with no corners. Behind that story is a real person, a real mother who still picks up the phone, just in case. And a chilling truth, sometimes people really do vanish.